Hi, and welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. In just a few moments, we'll be joined by Deena Pace, the Executive Director of the Humane Society of the White Mountains. But first, before we do that, we're going to go into Mike's Pet Peeves. Mike's Pet Peeves is merely my opinion, not that of the board or Deena or anybody official. It's really just me letting off steam, to be honest with you. So, you know, the joke is you hear it about the problem with having common sense is it's not as common as it used to be. And for some reason, I find that common sense, maybe we disagree on what the word common sense means. But in this COVID time, I've noticed everyone's more angry, just angry in general. So for the moment, let's set, common sense aside and let's actually focus a little on common courtesy. There's an idea. How about not thinking the world revolves around you and you have to pull out into traffic doing 0 miles an hour while I'm doing 45 because the world revolves around you? That's called common courtesy. It's also called merging into a lane, and we can go into that later. Or just ask Google what merging means. It's really simple. All in all, there's nothing good. Common courtesy is all we're asking. Take time out of your day. Instead of getting huffy and puffy, calm down, take 3 deep breaths, and just let it happen. Let the person go by you without honking and yelling obscenities. That being said, I have used my horn more times in the last month than I have in the total 23 years I have been driving. Can't figure that out. Please, everybody, me included, let's work on common courtesy. Hi, Deena.
Hi, Mike. You may need some more horn fluid.
Yes, I really may need some. It is absurd, just all the traffic and this COVID has really got everybody angry.
And that's something we talked about just this morning at work. Even people that are normally very happy, very easygoing people, the longer this is going on, the more everything's in question, and your mind's just going,
Right. I mean, is a political, is it a sickness? There's
Right.
900 different ways to go.
Right.
And it just seems that everyone's more angry.
They are.
Right now. And let's face it, the amazing heat does not help at all.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. The heat's pretty tough. Out there at the shelter, I really feel bad for all our techs and the people that are working outside with this stuff. And
I believe it.
So it's tough.
So what do we have going on at the Humane Society? Now, obviously, most people got the mailers in the mail.
Yes.
And if you didn't get your mailer in the mail, it's probably because you haven't changed your address with the Humane Society.
Right.
We don't actually track when you move. We need you to help us with that.
Absolutely. So we did send out a postcard that says that Happy Tails is canceled.
Right.
And we do have next year's date. I've already booked it, August 28th.
Yay!
2021.
Okay.
And if we hear anything about COVID come the first of the year, we're all done. I'm not listening anymore.
Agreed.
But we do still have our raffles going on. We will be drawing live on Facebook on August 29th. And then as soon as that raffle's over, in another few weeks after that, the middle of September or so, we're going to start some holiday raffles.
Okay.
And that's all going to be part of Happy Tails because, Mike, when Happy Tails brings us the kind of money it does to the shelter, and just because we can't do it doesn't mean that the animals don't need the money.
Well,
we need the money to continue to do what we do.
To stay open.
Yes.
The costs of, we've said it on many different programs, but some $2,000 a day just to give them clean toys, food, the washes, the tech cleaning, the walks, I mean,
Well, yeah,
there's
and the
everything.
vaccinations, the spay and neuter, the microchips, and the vaccinations is on intake, and then from there it's every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
You know, until they're fully vaccinated or they're adopted, and then they need to go to the vet and have more.
Right.
From the new home. But so yeah, the funds that we make at Happy Tails, we've got to try and recoup somehow.
Yeah.
So we've reached out and asked people through email and on our website and stuff to help us, either purchase raffle tickets. If you don't want a raffle ticket, really make a donation. Any amount helps.
Right.
It all adds up.
Right.
And so we're going to do a holiday raffle after this first Happy Tails raffle, and it's going to have 4 baskets in it. And we've asked the community, and we've gotten such a great response. So thanks to everyone that's brought us either some alcohol or some wine. We're going to have a big, it's going to look like a wine cellar.
I like the way this is going.
Yeah, we're going to have close to 100 bottles of wine in one raffle.
In one raffle?
One raffle.
How much are the raffle tickets?
They'll probably be right around $20 a ticket.
Is there a limit sold, or can I buy them all?
You can buy them all. What is your limit?
All right,
Mike?
that is a good question. And we'll have to do accounting.
Then for people that don't like wine, we're going to have a booze bar that's going to have the hard alcohol in it. Oh. There may be where your tickets need to go.
Right.
So I know that we've got all kinds of alcohol, and then we also are going to have a fall decor basket full of, and when I talk baskets, like right now with the Happy Tails baskets we have going, just say the Pampered Chef basket, the kitchen basket, there's 9 baskets, and one person's going to win all 9 of those baskets.
Wow.
So one person's going to win all the wine, one person's going to win all the booze, all the fall, and then a holiday, a Christmas basket.
I would like to apologize to anybody that thinks they were going to get a Christmas present this year. All of my Christmas money just went to the Humane Society. So, sorry, guys.
And when you win, you can give them a bottle of whatever you win. Or you can keep it for yourself.
It's going to be a long 2021.
It's been a long 2020,
Yes,
so we
it
may
has.
need that ourselves. So anyway, we're going to do those, and then we're going to draw on that raffle, the holiday raffle, a week before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So then, and we may, I'm trying to get some other goodies that I'm not going to talk about yet until I get them in place to go in those baskets that'll entice even more.
Okay.
So if wine and booze can entice you anymore, if you need anything else in it. So.
Right. You had me at wine and booze.
Exactly.
And then I actually quit listening.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so I also have someone that is willing to give us $5,000. We'll match the first $5,000 in donations that we get.
Not raffle tickets, donations.
Not raffles.
Okay.
Donations.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that out there too and see what we can do. Our need doesn't stop just because Happy Tails did, just because COVID's happened. Everything we've done this year has been postponed, canceled, or whatever, all fundraisers. So, we really need the community to continue to support us like they have, by helping us out with raffle tickets or just a donation. I've asked several people that if they would donate what their budget would have been at Happy Tails this year.
Right.
And I've had some people come through with that.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. So, because you budget what you're going to spend.
Oh, yeah.
And depending on how much you drink at Happy Tails, you can stick to a budget sometimes.
Sometimes.
Some people can.
Yeah.
So anyway, every little dollar adds up. Every little dollar becomes big dollars.
Right.
And there's always other ways. If you can't financially help us, maybe you can help us with some supplies. Or asking your family and friends that might be able to help us. This is never going to be it's an endless job. Just endless. I think I just told you coming in, we took in 4 animals already this morning. In the first hour we opened up, we took in 4 animals, and that's 4 sets of vaccinations and some blood work.
Right.
That's happening.
To figure out where they are.
Right.
Are they sick? Do they need to go into quarantine?
Exactly.
So it's not like you just walk them in the back and say it's done.
Right.
There's all kinds of work. Now, on the intake, it's extremely important, and please explain why, to offer correct information about the dog. We understand that we are getting that dog for either a financial reason, maybe it's that person's mental health is just can't handle it anymore,
Right.
or something to that extent.
Right.
But why is it so important that we know all the information there is to know?
You know,
Why can't I just drop it off and be like, later?
right. And the reason for that, Mike, is the more we know about the pet that you're surrendering to us, the better we are. Like, say it's already had its rabies shot. We really don't want to give it another shot. It doesn't need another shot.
Right.
We just need proof that it's had these vaccines. And if you don't have the proof, tell us what vet did it. We can get the proof. You know, if it's on a special diet, we need to know that, so that if, you know, what we feed it, if it gets diarrhea or throws up, we'll know that, hey, it's on a special diet.
Right.
You know, and it's just so important. And, you know, if it doesn't like, say it's a dog, it doesn't like cats, please tell us it doesn't like cats. Don't let us walk it by some cats before we figure that out, you know? If it's lived with kids, if it's bit, just be honest, tell us as much as you can, and it helps the process that it moves through faster, too.
So it's better for the pet
Absolutely.
to be able to get into its forever home quicker.
Absolutely.
The more you know about it.
Absolutely. And then we can pass that on to the new home, because a lot of times, you know, these pets act different in the shelter than they're going to act once they get to a home. You know, they're confined
Right.
in a shelter. They're confined and they're contained. You know, and so, you know, you could really and truly, and so many of the people that have to give up their pets love their pets enough to be able to give us that information. You know, if it, like I say, and the food is really something, you know, or if it's sick, let us know what it's been sick with, so that we know where to start on a treatment.
Right.
You know, because otherwise we can spend endless time and resources to figure out what's going on with it.
Makes sense. And I mean, let's face it, resources are short due to no happy tails, COVID.
No stretch your mutt, no nothing.
Right.
No nothing. No, we're not even going off-site doing dog adoptions.
Really? So we're not even going to PetSense anymore?
No, our cats are still there.
Okay.
But, you know, our volunteers are scared. We've got people that are scared to go out, and we definitely respect that. But they're not comfortable going out in the public with dogs for adoption. You know, so we get that. So, but we are open at the shelter all the time for adoptions.
Right.
You know, Tuesday through Fridays from 10:30 to 5, and then Saturdays 10 to 5.
And the website is also open 24/7.
It is hswm.org. And you know, we've been really fortunate on a lot of great adoptions. We've had so many adoptions, and I think, you know, the COVID could have good and bad. And I think for animals, it's been a blessing. You know, because their people are home with them more. They're getting to get a home.
Right.
While people are home to be able to train them to be what they want them to be.
That being said, my dog still will not accept any training. I got to work on that. My black lab's a devil. I love her to death. Hey, we'll be back in just a moment with more Paw Prints on the Mountain right here in just a moment. And welcome to Paw Prints on the Mountain, brought to you by the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley, and as always, joining us, well, not always, but usually always, Deena Pace. Hi, Deena.
Hi.
Now, earlier we spoke about raffles there that we were going to do for Happy Tails. We've got the current raffle, and then we've got the fall raffle, and all of that. But there's also a fundraiser that does happen every day. And I am actually very happy to say that every time I've driven by, I see more and more cars.
Yes.
And we were really hurting as a Humane Society there for a little bit because of COVID. We had to close for
6 weeks.
6 weeks, 2 months, yeah. And luckily the guys in there did a phenomenal job remodeling for what they did. But tell us a little bit about what's going on there at the Doghouse Thrift Shop. Okay,
so that you're right. That is our everyday fundraiser. So we were closed for 6 weeks, and yes, that hurt us even worse. But on the week before they opened, they took advantage of that time, and they They sanded all the floors. They revarnished all the floors in there, and rearranged things and brought out new things. And, we get so many compliments about how organized and clean our doghouse is every day. And that puts a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Oh, yes, it is.
The team over there works really hard, and it's a very small team of 3 guys and a part-time lady that's cashiering, and volunteers. It's always about the volunteers. But let's keep up with the doghouse right now. So we're open Tuesday through Saturdays from 10 to 5, and we accept gently used donations from 10 to 4. That way we have time to process them, get them in so that they're not stuck outside in the weather or anything. So we always ask that people don't leave them. We actually have, believe it or not, people will steal from us if things are dropped when we're not open. It's not bad enough we're trying to help the homeless, but now we have people that do sometimes think that they need it worse than the homeless animals. Very sad, but you know what? We just deal with it.
That's about all you really can do.
It is. But it's amazing the things that you can find in there.
Talk about the term gently used. What does that really mean? Because what I call gently used may not be what you call gently used.
Right.
I could, describe that for us.
Say you've got a couch and it's all stained or tore in the cushions.
Yep.
That's past gently used.
That's past.
I personally wouldn't buy it. So how I set my standards when I'm going through my stuff, and I'm my own worst enemy when this is, because I will keep something until there's nothing left of it, and then think, that this shirt's really stained up. I probably ought to get rid of it. Well, no, really, the doghouse doesn't need it. So how I put my standards is, would I buy it?
Okay.
Would I buy that?
Okay. So so it's not your junk outlet.
Correct.
Because it's what you're gonna re-gift for Christmas or something to that extent.
Right. And we're very fortunate. We get a lot of really, really nice things. Some of them are still brand new. Some of them still have tags on it. Whether it be an exercise equipment, clothing, books, whatever. But the other part of that is sometimes people use us as a junk. They don't want to pay for the trash, and so, but what people need to realize is, if you really know that it should have gone in the trash and you bring it to us, it's taking money away from the animals because we're having to pay for it to be to the trash. So we really, really appreciate the community when they do gently used. And another thing is, we put out on Facebook last week that we needed plastic bags.
Right. Okay. Well, you always need plastic bags.
Right. But I can't tell you the support. People are going, do you want plastic or paper? We use more plastic. And I mean, people are, I'm on my way with bags,
That's
because
great.
we don't buy bags to when you purchase stuff, people donate bags to us. And so that's just one more way to help us.
Okay.
And another way is to always volunteer. And here again this year, because of the COVID, we're not the only ones, but a lot of our volunteers are not comfortable being out in the public and being in these places. And then we have others that at the shelter end or at the doghouse end are comfortable going into the back and working, where they're not with the public. We are requiring masks, just like our towns have asked us. So when you come into our store, we do ask you to please put on your mask. We have it on.
Right.
So whether you agree with the mask or not, we do ask you, because we're trying to do what the governor and what the mayors have asked us. Right,
and that's extremely responsible to go that route. Also, very safe to go that route.
It is. On another subject, I was at getting my hair done the other day, and the stylist had the mask on, and I said, do you want me to put my mask on? And she goes, no, you don't have to, because she was working on my hair. And there was an elderly lady sitting, from me to you, and she had her mask on, and I heard her tell her stylist, she goes, I thought masks were required. And I thought of my mom. And I thought, you know what? My mom has sat at home other than doctor's appointments since March because of this.
Right.
Because she's very high risk. And I told the lady, I go, you know what, ma'am, I'll put on my mask. And she goes, no, you don't have. And I go, no, I will. It was
That's common courtesy. That's amazing. Sorry.
You know, but yeah, you know, whether or not when you come into our place and you think that the mask is just a political deal or not, the point of the matter is you may be protecting my mother. You may be protecting your son.
Right.
Somebody may have a loved one at home that's very compromised.
Right.
You know, and they need things. They can't sit at home forever. They have to go out. Someone has to go out and get supplies. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So common courtesy there too. You know, I can't tell you. I know that the doghouse says that they get reamed every day, people, over the mask deal. We're not the Nazis here. We're not the mask police.
Right.
We're just asking, please do what we've been asked to do.
Right.
So we'll protect you. You protect us, and whether we believe it or not, that's how it's got to be right now.
That is a great way, a very good point as well. Thank you actually for bringing that up.
Yeah.
That was
You know,
very good point.
And like I say, you know, I've got mine in my back pocket at all times. You
Right.
know, I go over to the front office at our shelter. I put it on because it says on the door, please have your mask on.
Right.
You know, I go over to the doghouse. I put it on. I go Circle K. I put it on. You know, just because I'm one of these people that. I bet I look like a rule breaker, don't I? But I actually do follow the rules.
Well, way to go. And yes, I did always take you for a wild child. That was right off the get-go when I first met you.
Yeah, I probably am, but yet if I'm going to protect somebody's loved one, I'm going to do what needs to be done.
And that's what it all comes down to. And it's really how much of an effort is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes it's a big effort.
Well, some people make it a big effort.
Yes,
that's
they
for
do.
Sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on over at the doghouse.
Okay.
And we never did open we're open just the 5 days a week this year for financial reasons that we couldn't do 6 days a week.
Right.
You know?
Well,
So,
also when you have a 3-man crew, somebody likes a day off every now and then.
absolutely.
And especially now that the forests are open and we can go camping.
Yes.
You know.
Us and our 5,000 best friends.
That's right.
Because you know what, really though, I will tell you that is soul food up there.
It really is. And my dogs, poor things, they hadn't been camping in 7 dog years, so they'd almost forgot what camping was like.
Absolutely.
They were just ecstatic when we hit the dirt road.
Absolutely, yeah. Mine are getting ready to do that. So, and I've got a new one. So, and that's another thing. When you're out camping, please protect your pets.
Oh yes.
I can't tell you, we've had hound dogs coming into us lately. We had one come in that was just found up at Mount Baldy.
Aww.
We had another a pup come in that was found somewhere else up in the mountains. So really and truly, when you do lose your pet, or if you do, we should be one of your first calls.
That's a good point. Let's talk on that. So what are some avenues that people can go through to find their lost pet and or prevent their pet from being lost?
Okay, so to prevent your pet from being lost, like take me for example, when we go camping, we've got a new dog.
Okay.
That new dog is not going to be out of my sight because it's going to be on a leash until I know how it's going to act.
Aha, good call.
I don't go off, we go hiking, they're going to go on a leash.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's also Arizona state law. If you're on a trail, they're supposed to be on leashes.
Oh. Did I say anything about a trail?
Oh, no.
I kind of blaze my own trails.
Okay.
But if by some chance your pet does get lost,
right,
please have a collar on it. My dogs do not have collars on when they're at home in my yard.
Right.
But they do have their collars with their names and my phone number on them when we go anywhere.
That's an extremely cheap way to go about and identify the dog in case something does happen.
And the other thing is you can microchip them.
Okay, let's talk about that for a moment.
We microchip your animal and register it for $20. So say that your dog slips out of a collar, which it could do.
It could.
If it comes into us, just like these most recent hound dogs, we would be able to scan them and immediately pull up your information and call you and say, hey, we've got your dog that was found up at Mount Baldy.
And that would make that owner ecstatic. I mean,
Absolutely.
And right now they're probably beside themselves that they lost their dog.
Absolutely. And we also post always on any incoming stray animals a picture of them on our Facebook.
So there's another avenue.
Absolutely. And so follow us on Facebook because we post every stray that comes in.
Okay.
And we encourage you that if you've lost your pet, come in and look with us. A lot of times you describe it different than we do. or at least call us, put in a lost report, and then email us a picture so that we know what we're looking for.
Now that's a really good idea. I never thought of that, of actually emailing you what my lost dog looks like.
Absolutely, because like if you're up here camping, I see it on Lost and Found all the time. Makes me crazy and so sad. We couldn't stay any longer and look for it. And one of the things that I've learned is say you've lost it and you're still camping or something, let's just say that, or even at home they got away from you. Put one of your pieces of dirty clothing out.
Okay.
On your porch. They can smell it.
If
they have lost,
find their way
they
home.
can smell better than they can see or hear.
Right.
And they will be able to hopefully find their way back to you.
That's a good another alternative, but the microchipping, $20 is really, times are tight, but $20 versus losing my forever friend, I'd say that's a really easy $20 to spend.
Absolutely. And I can't tell you how often we want to always get these pets home.
Yes.
Our goal is never to keep your pet. So please call us. Come out and see us if you've lost a pet. Don't ever give up on finding them.
Thank you, Deena. Also, I'd like to add one last thought before we leave. At the very beginning of COVID, we saw a lot of pet adoptions, and now at this moment, we're not seeing as much. So please remember, there are lots of animals that need your loves. Please help them find their forever home, and you can find them at the Humane Society of the White Mountains. I'm your host, Mike Bosley. For Deena Pace, we'll see you next time.